Well, oh my God. So, a couple things. One, so I've been having some really weird issues with my Pro Tools rig, my computer. So when my old cheese grater started having issues about 2.5, 3 years ago, I bit the bullet and I bought new computer, new converter, like new all this, whatever, 12 grand. The M chips had been out a little while, but they were kind of still new. And I talked to Avid, and they suggested that they couldn't guarantee that it was going to work well. They're like, a lot of people are running Pro Tools on these M chips, and it's going good, but some people are having problems. And they basically were like, if you just want to like plug in and know you're going to be good to go, I would get this Intel. And same thing with Native Instruments. So once again, I bought a rig and it was immediately outdated. It's like every time it goes from Firewire 800 to Thunderbolt. There's always some major thing that changes. So I buy this rig, this iMac, beautiful computer, very powerful, very fast, sitting in front of me. And so I start. So I'm on Big Sur. Like I'm still on, I'm on like 2 operating systems ago because I can't go past it. Whatever the new thing is, I can't go to. Because it's an Intel chip. I can't go in Pro Tools. I'm using like legacy drivers, So I started having problems maybe, I don't know, a year ago. Some weird MIDI things and this and that. But then, and I think the demise was Universal Audio. I did an update on my UA satellite, and that from that day on, things were just strange. And so it came down to make the long story short, like it won't install the drivers. So what I have to do is when I load up the computer, I have to manually install the drivers. Well, starting a few weeks ago, it started kind of not always working, and needless to say, it's just been stressful. And it was really being weird like yesterday. It took me forever to get booted up. So I said, I got to bite the bullet. I call my buddy Dave. He gives me a text phone number. I get on the phone with the tech. And the tech knows all about this. He's like, yeah, he's the guy that runs like Belmont, all the computers, all the Pro Tools, all the operating systems, consoles. So he knows all this stuff. And he's like, yeah. He's like, those old Intels are now really becoming problematic because, all the software and everything, whatever. So I am getting a Mac Studio M4 Max, 64 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte drive. I'm getting the Avid Matrix converter IO thing with the Thunderbolt 3 card, and I'm buying an LG 34-inch monitor. Oh man. So I buy all this stuff this morning. It's like, when this is all done, it's going to be 13 or 14 grand. Because I've got to update a bunch of software, and then I'm going to pay the tech to help me because it's a different art. I got to get this thing up and running. So I get up today, I come in, like I can't get this thing started. It's just like it won't load in the driver, so it's not showing up Pro Tools, HDX, and So I start messing with more stuff. This is now after I've bought all this stuff, this computer, oh my God. And I'm messing with this, and then it seemed better. And I don't know, maybe the cabling was weird, but it seems like now it's at least working. So then I'm like, oh man. But it's all good because I'm dumping a bunch of stuff that I don't need anymore. And I can get rid of the iMac once this is transitioned. The iMac is great. I can get rid of the HDX and the chassis. And I have 2 of those HDIOs. So I put one up for sale. I'm keeping one. till the whole process of this is done. So, and I'm selling some guitar, some bass, a bass, and some gear, some travel gear. And I sold a twin sister last night. Just messing with this, it's just all, they're all just very, very similar. And I don't need it. So, anyway, that's where I'm at. A lot. It's been a rough few days. As you can tell, I think I need a shower. Oh, man. But I had a really good box to ship the Twisted Sisters, the twin sister in, and it's gone. It's great. I just don't need it, man. I'm simplifying. I'm simplifying. I'm getting rid of stuff. I've also decided to not do the touring band anymore. I thought about, one of the shows over that weekend got canceled because of, I don't know, ticket sales or whatever. And then we had another one coming up, and then they hit me up and they're like, man, the ticket sales are not good. We may just have to go out with recorded bass. And I'm like, that's cool, man. But then it hit me. It's like, all right. Because I spent a lot of dough getting stuff for this band. I mean, flight cases for basses. I bought a jazz bass, wireless, Sans amp. I dropped a couple grand. But, that's how I am. So everything's brand new, mint condition with boxes. I may return some, but mostly I'm just going to sell it. The other thing, too, I had an RBI here, the Sans amp RBI. I like the Sans amp pedal, the one that I was using with the band, the old bass driver. I like that better. So I put that here. I'm going to sell the RBI. And I'm clearing out room here because, I'm going to have less stuff. This Matrix is just a single thing. I'm not going to... But what I did was I got some shelves because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the computer here so that the computer and the Matrix are very close so we can use like a 1.5 foot Thunderbolt 3 cable or whatever. I talked to my buddy at Sweetwater and he's like, yeah, it's... You'll be fine at like 6 feet. But if you can do 1.5 or 3, it's better. Because I was like, well, maybe if I'm going to put it here and I'm going to have the computer here and the converter here, I'm going to need like a 20-footer. He's like, I would not run a 20-footer. I wouldn't do it. It's like against protocol or whatever he said. So, but that's it. So I'm going to probably have over here this Sans amp bass driver, my little headphone amp, the little Personas. I'll have the computer on another tray. And I may end up having to have the UA satellite over here. So I'll have a couple of trays. And they're vented. They're really nice. I ordered them today. Anyway, it's just a lot. I mean, it's just been a lot. And I got to get cracking, at work. I got everybody is up and on me here, man. So I gotta just, so I'm gonna stick with the wedding band thing, and because I'm a sub there, and this is what I thought. I'm gonna end this video. I thought, it'll be cool to travel and play in, Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida. I can't. It's stupid. It's, And the gigging guys look at it like, oh, well, there's more dough. Not really. To me, it's, if I get paid for a Saturday night gig $400 or $500, but I leave Friday morning and I get home Sunday night, if I play down the street and make $80 and I'm home 4 hours later, that's better for me. I don't need the $400 and the 3 days away. The other thing too with the band, you're out, you're spending money, and I may have to kennel my dog at the the kennel that we keep him at, and that's $50 a day, or it's just it was a cool idea, but not a good one ultimately. So once it all kind of came together last night. just realizing, like, because we had a show coming up in a few weeks, and the singer hit me up, and he's like, man, I don't know what to do. The ticket sales are low. He's like, this time of the season is really weird, and we loved having you, but we may just have to do recorded bass and just go out with a smaller crew. And I'm like, dude, that's cool. And then I got off with him, and I was like, this is probably a blessing. So I'm going to sell all this crap over the next few weeks. I'm going to sell my AC30. I bought this open back Morgan cabinet. I was trying to think about bringing the AC30. It was all right, but it's all gone. Everything's up for sale. Yeah, so I mean, I've got about $3,000 up for sale, and then once this gets rotated out, it'll be like another $2,500, $3,000. I'll have the iMac, I'll have the Sonnet chassis, I'll have the HTX card, and I'll have another of those Avid HDIOs. So, yeah. Anyway, here's the other thing. So, two things. One, I can't remember what I was going to say. All right. Well, this guy buys his twin sister from me. He never contacts me. All of a sudden, it's just purchased. He didn't haggle me, which was nice. But, he didn't hit me up and say, hey, is everything's, I don't know. I never would send anybody thousands of dollars just without an initial communication. I don't think I would. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I'm kind of like, I'm that kind of person, right? So I get it at like midnight last night, and he's in like Colorado. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey man, it's cool. You're gonna dig it. I'll box it up and ship it out in the morning. I'll get you tracking. So this morning I get up, I get the box. I got a killer box for it, load it up beautifully, pack it, take it, drop it off. Way too much money I paid, but at this point I just want to be done with it. And I upload the tracking number, to Reverb, and I message him, a photograph of this and a photograph of the, this receipt. And I'm like, all right, so yeah, it's coming your way, and it's signature required, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. No communication. It just strikes me to send a stranger all that dough. It's weird. And I know that I know as purchasers and sellers, we're somewhat secured through Reverb, but still, it's just, I don't know. I'm such a weird dude. What was the other thing I was going to say? I can't remember now, but it was something that was really mind-blowing. But so, I've been struggling with the weight thing, so I think today's day 6. I really made the commitment, and I know what to do. I lost 100 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. I lost 80 pounds when I was a kid and kept it off for 30 years, and then I lost 100 pounds and kept most of it off for about 6 or 8, and then the food addiction just kicked in harder than ever. But I'm down 4.7 pounds, and I'm really doing good, and today's been good. I had a meal prep and drinking water and taking my vitamins and bada. Anyway, there you go, man. So we're going to have a new Pro Tools rig in here, man. That's crazy. That is crazy.